Right now on Denver 7 News at 5 o'clock, the mask can come off in several Front Range communities starting this weekend as COVID case numbers start to improve. But business owners are already expecting confusion over the rollback.
As a community, we all need to come together and have respect.
So this morning, we're breaking down all the changes as you make your weekend plans.
COVID cases and hospitalizations are trending in the right direction across the country. Now Pfizer is getting ready to roll out a vaccine for kids as young as 6 months old.
Also preventing the next destructive wildfire, state lawmakers are looking to increase awareness where natural spaces border up to urban areas, as cleanup from the Marshall Fire is still just getting started. Moving in today, we are tracking another winter storm bringing plenty of snow to the Front Range. Thanks for joining us this morning. I'm Brian Sanders.
And I'm Nicole Brady. It is a Denver 7 Weather Action Day. Let's bring in meteorologist Lisa Hidalgo. Lisa, I'm going to get a lot of stuff done today because the snow is going to be coming in later, and I don't want to do errands in the snow.
I know. I'm already thinking ahead to Wednesday, like, oh, I don't want to drive to gymnastics. Yeah, Denver 7 Weather Action Day. We are tracking that snow. It will hit later today, so you've got some dry roads this morning. It will be much colder, though, today. Those temperatures dropping only in the upper 20s to low 30s this afternoon. Snow will develop later, so expect by commute time we'll start to see some snow west side of town, and then that's going to gradually fill in. So for really most of the metro area, it's going to be tomorrow morning's commute that's the tricky one. And temperatures here for the next few days are going to drop well below zero. I'll show you that here in just a minute. Right now, pretty quiet, some clear skies. Clouds will be increasing, though, here pretty soon. We're going to get highs right around freezing by early afternoon, and then those numbers will drop. A number of alerts in pink winter storm warnings, in purple winter weather advisories. We'll talk about how much snow we're expecting by tomorrow afternoon coming up.
It will be a tough go of it for us later tonight and obviously tomorrow morning. I'm expecting chain and traction laws out to the west side of town, up along the foothills and the mountains. Right now, down through the Denver Tech Center, it looks just fine, right by Park Meadows Mall, which would be right over there. So a good drive for us on I-25 and C-470. Take a look at farther north at Highway 119 outside of Longmont at I-25, and that looks just fine as well. But the blowing and drifting snow will be a big problem for us tomorrow morning. Overall, right now, the drive looks just fine, but expect double, triple commute times tomorrow as we're going to see those really slick conditions, and they will stick around for a while. The drive to or from the airport looks just fine and no problems for us really citywide right now.
Thank you, Jason. If you are ready to ditch the mask, hold on just a few more days. More metro communities are rolling back their mask mandates. Thanks to falling COVID case numbers and hospitalizations, Denver, Adams, Arapahoe, and Larimer counties will let their mandates expire soon.
Denver 7's Colette Bordelon joins us live now. And Colette, we're also hearing from business owners and venues about the rules changing for them once again here.
That's right, and it feels like it's become almost second nature to have your mask ready or your proof of vaccine pulled up on your phone before entering any Denver area restaurant or bar. But starting on Friday, we're going back to just walking in, if of course the business allows it. Now, public health experts say the Omicron variant has run out of fuel in the community, but the mandate will continue for schools and child care facilities. As of Monday, more than 3/4 of all Denver residents are fully vaccinated. Those with the Denver Department of Public Health and Environment say letting the mask mandate expire will have little change on the number of COVID cases or hospitalizations in the metro, which have dropped since that holiday surge. Still, based on modeling, public health experts say the mask or vaccine requirement had an impact in November, saying if those rules hadn't been in place, hospital capacity could have been breached, even though it did reach record highs. But for businesses, it's getting hard to keep count of how many times these tough decisions have fallen on their shoulders.
Doing this for the first time, we're still kind of navigating our way through everything, not just the pandemic. But it would have been nice if it didn't fall always on the small business owner for these decisions to be made.
Those with the Colorado Restaurant Association hope any customers do comply with whatever, if any, regulations a business does decide to have in place after the mandate expires. Now, sports and entertainment venues still have to make their own decision on masks too. At Ball Arena, people ages 2 and up, those masks are staying on. And for people ages 12 and up, they'll need proof of vaccine or a negative test before entering. Then at Denver Center for Performing Arts, for people ages 5 and up, they'll also be needing proof of vaccine. They also tell us they have no plans of ending the mask requirements. In Denver, Colette Bordelon, Denver 7.
Thank you, Colette. Jefferson County's Board of Health will talk about its mask mandate Thursday. The board says it is still monitoring cases, hospitalizations, and other data. Broomfield's current mask order expires Thursday. So far, no planned meeting about whether it should stay or go. But we're also hearing from you about when might be the right time to end mask orders. Andrew writes, haven't worn a mask through any of the mandates, just another unenforceable rule gone. Terry says she disagrees, but I'll continue to protect myself and the people I care about. Wanda says it only means that masks won't be a requirement. Those who want to wear them can continue to do so. And we want to hear from you. Send us your comments to 360@thedenverchannel.com or through the Denver 7 Facebook page. Meanwhile, COVID numbers are trending in the right direction across the country, and there are more tools to help, but doctors are still worried about another variant on the horizon. Here's Britt Conway.
How can we transition back to normal?
Normal. Remember that?
We cannot be living in a perpetual state of emergency. We are trending in the right direction.
On average, new cases of COVID-19 are down 39% from the Omicron peak. Hospitalizations in many states are falling too.
And there has to be an off-ramp for many restrictions that people don't want, especially because we have safe and effective vaccines.
Moderna's COVID-19 vaccine for people 18 years old and up just got full approval from the FDA. And Novavax says it's formally submitted a request for FDA emergency use authorization for its vaccine for adults. The Pfizer-BioNTech vaccine for kids ages 6 months through 4 years old could be authorized for emergency use in early March, according to a Pfizer board member. Good news, yes, but COVID-19 isn't expected to disappear.
We have to recognize that we're going to be living with COVID for the foreseeable future. We need to have a reasoned conversation, establish the benchmarks for when restrictions can go, with the understanding that they may need to come back if we have a new, more threatening variant in the future.
This health expert says it's less if and more when.
We have to assume it's going to hit us again. And just like in 2021 and 2020, it'll hit the southern United States and create another massive wave. How do we prepare for the next big one that's going to hit us over the summer?
I'm Britt Conway reporting.
The Denver Sheriff's Department is remembering a deputy who was killed in an apparent murder-suicide in Adams County. Latasha Betterly Bird was found with multiple gunshot wounds in this home on West 67th off Pecos. Investigators also found a man who appeared to have shot himself. The Denver Sheriff's Department said Betterly Bird had just graduated from the academy in November, and her career was full of promise. Another teenage suspect is now facing charges in an Aurora shooting. That shooting happened in November at Nome Park across from Aurora Central High School. The 16-year-old is one of 4 teens arrested. He's facing charges including 16 counts of attempted first-degree murder. According to court documents, witnesses saw the boy in the backseat of a car firing shots out the window at people in the park. 6 students were injured in that shooting. His next hearing will happen in July.
Boulder County officials say they are almost done with their initial investigation into what sparked the Marshall Fire. They are investigating an abandoned coal mine, downed power lines, and a nearby shed fire as possible causes. But the sheriff's office says it could still take several months to release an exact cause. Meanwhile, the long process of cleanup is still underway. Today, the Louisville City Council will give an update on private property debris removal, along with a resolution to temporarily waive building permit fees to demolish burned out homes. Today, state senators will look at a proposal to reduce fire risk where the woods meet urban areas. Senate Bill 7 requires the State Forest Service to create a working group to focus on future wildfire awareness campaigns. Nationally, Congress is also working through the Western Wildfire Support Act. Colorado Representative Joe Neguse introduced that legislation in the House last month. The proposed law has suggestions for wildfire prevention, suppression, and recovery. The Biden administration is also working on a 10-year strategy using funds from the infrastructure law. Lisa.
It is now just about 5:10. We are tracking snow that's going to hit this afternoon. So this morning at the bus stop, you've got some dry but chilly conditions, low to mid-20s for your kids. This afternoon, though, increasing clouds. By the time they get home, we're going to start to see some snow developing. First on the west side of town and then moving into Denver through late afternoon, early evening. Winter weather advisories go into effect at 5 o'clock. We'll take a look at how much we're expecting coming up.
And Fort Collins looks just fine. Meldrum and Laurel looks great for us. Not seeing any problems citywide there in Fort Collins. But again, we have dry roads now. But tonight and tomorrow we will see snow-covered areas in Fort Collins. So just be careful and give yourself some extra time for those roads tonight and tomorrow.
More Coloradans are losing jobs in the wake of Zillow ending its iBuying service. How the layoffs could impact more people in the metro.
And stamped, sealed, delivered. Volunteers in Loveland are working hard to make Valentine's Day special for people all around the world. Before we head to break, though, here are some great photos from across Colorado. You can play this live Zen stream on your TV anytime through the free Denver 7 Plus app for Roku, Amazon Fire, Apple TV, or Android.